Yeah, what's going on? It's the Rob from 106.1 Kiss FM, but forget about me. Jerry's got a balancing act on his head over there.
Look at that.
Good morning.
Water on my head.
It's the Rob from 106.1 Kiss FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting, balancing Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jerry.
That sucker was a metaphor. It's a tough balancing act, being right at every single pay-per-view when it comes time to predicting. It's not easy, but somebody's got to do it. And it's this guy.
Yeah.
Right here. 3 in a row. Looking at his first A-plus show. This is my golden opportunity to shut you down, sucker.
The only A-plus show is WrestleMania. And the only A show that we've been predicting together was SummerSlam, and I did win that. However, you've been on a hot streak with these B pay-per-views, which I hear may be going away next year. Thank God, thank God, thank God.
Thank God, thank God. There's too many. There's too many.
It's too many. Listen, you can't – something you do every 3 weeks, if not less, because, I mean, TLC is 2 weeks after Survivor Series. You can't make that special. I'm sorry. When you've got, when it's 1/3 as frequently or 1/2 as infrequently as Raw or SmackDown, it's not going to feel special. I'm sorry. You've got to change that, WWE.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to. And to your point about WrestleMania, so I don't know if you received a notification in your email, being a member of the network, you could be part of the WrestleMania ticket pre-sale. I just, out of curiosity, I wanted to see what tickets I could get if I wanted to order them for Orlando this year. Because Kelly's mom has a place in Florida, and I was like, let me just see if I could go to WrestleMania and take my son to WrestleMania. The answer to that's no.
Why is that?
Well, so pretty decent seats. You're about 20 rows back from ringside, but the tickets were like $700 a piece.
Yeah, but they're not all like that.
No, but I don't. Listen, I'm not taking a 6-year-old. I'm not sitting in the bathrooms. I will not go to even a WrestleMania if I'm at the top. I want to be. I
did,
but I don't want to.
And not that we were online the minute they went on sale for Skydome in Toronto, WrestleMania 18 in 2002, and the moment they went on sale, we went 3 best available. They were nosebleeds, man, in Skydome, and we were up there. But I don't regret that.
Did you love it? I mean, I've been to wrestling shows at the nosebleed section, and you and I have sat front row for more shows than any, and I can't do it. I've become a seat snob when it comes to pro wrestling.
Yeah, but listen, it's WrestleMania. I was there for Rock and Hogan.
Yeah.
It was an event. I don't regret that at all. I was glad we did. Our tickets were only $33 American.
That's awesome. I don't know how you pulled that off because they were so expensive.
Well, you were probably looking at great seats.
Yeah, I was.
Check out the nosebleeds. Either way, I mean, I think if you have an opportunity to go with the cheap seats, do it, personally.
So we have 6 matches to predict and a SmackDown to talk about. I don't know how many notes you have for SmackDown.
Not a bunch, but some. I
could be quick about it or I could be slow about it because there was a lot in SmackDown that I liked, actually.
SmackDown was a much better show this week. It was a pretty solid show. Some things they did right, some things they did wrong. My first note has to do with that opening contest. My God, that opening contest. My note is, boy, every time The Miz and Dolph Ziggler mix it up, it is magic. It is magic. They gave, and kudos to them with a 2-hour show for giving them 25 minutes. Yeah, no, I appreciated that too. And a title change of all things. Who saw that coming?
I know, I loved it. And I love The Miz just seems like a superstar now. He really does. I think more so now than when he was like main eventing Mania. Like he comes out now and there's just a look on his face. And I love this slow building hatred feud with Daniel Bryan. I think it's awesome. And I don't know if it can go anywhere. I think that it will. I think that they secretly know that Daniel Bryan can wrestle at least one more time if he wanted to.
I agree. I don't think we've seen Daniel Bryan's last match, but I don't think he'll return as a full-time wrestler ever.
I don't either, but I think that it could be like a Mania spot or something.
Right.
And it will be against The Miz. They've been doing this, whether they meant to or not, from the very beginning of the draft. Remember when Rusev and the U.S. title was drafted to Raw, the very next pick, Daniel Bryan said, well, I don't want to pick him. We don't want him, but we need the belt. So The Miz. And then they brought The Miz. I mean, just from the very beginning, those two have been going at each other. Then the Talking Smack promo of the year with The Miz, and he comes out, and he should be focused on Ziggler, and he's looking at Daniel Bryan first. I just loved it. I loved everything about that match. And the fact that he won the belt, I love that even more.
Did you watch the State of the WWE special?
I did not.
It was interesting. And a lot of people are talking about there was one key moment that people are referencing. It did seem to get like, I don't want to call it real because, I mean, it's all work. But Daniel Bryan, when getting in Mick Foley's face, he was talking about how, how Mick Foley is not invested in what he's doing, I guess, because he left the position once before because he wanted to be a wrestler. And Mick Foley was kind of like, that's you, Daniel. You're the one who wants to be the wrestler, but you can't, so you're settling to be a GM. And Daniel Bryan was like, look who's talking. When you were a GM, you quit voluntarily, and what did you do? You went to TNA to wrestle.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty special. I thought that was a pretty cool moment. Plus, I saw a replay; it didn't get edited out. So
I don't care if it's worked or not. Like, I like worked shoots. As long as it's kind of shoot style, like, I'm in.
As long as it feels real, it's good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I love that. I love the beginning. I thought it was great.
I had a thought. I had a few more things about that. By the way, I was shocked to see a title change. I did not expect Miz to win that match.
Yeah, that really gummed up my predictions for Survivor Series.
Also, I had a thought here, and my thought kind of evolved and morphed throughout the course of the match, but it kind of started when Spirit Squad interfered, And I was thinking, why don't they bring back the rest of the Spirit Squad? And then I started thinking, that might not be a great idea because honestly, they're getting a little up there in years. They didn't have, while a lot of fans, they were kind of like a cult favorite their first time around, but now them plus 10 years is probably a bad idea. So I was thinking, why don't we add 2 new guys to the existing 2 that are already there and maybe breathe some life and give that another shot kind of thing?
I wouldn't be opposed to that. But because maybe the other guys aren't wrestlers anymore. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, I've heard that they tried, but I don't think they wanted all of them, and I didn't think they planned on having them here for as long as they did. But since they only have 2, I don't know. Why can't we just add take an NXT tag team, give them that male cheerleader gimmick, and throw them into the Spirit Squad? They don't even need to be an established tag team in NXT. They can just be 2 singles guys
and just bring them up. And give them a shot on the main roster.
And then from there, it can even grow, or you can give it a 3rd spot if it's really working, and have 5 guys do it. I don't know. I feel like it's a solid rub, but I mean, I've been wrong before.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I wouldn't hate that idea. I think that they're a niche, and I think they'll go away sooner than later. But I like it for now.
They did some flashbacks throughout the night. I remember they flashed back to episode 1. I did remember watching that, quote unquote live back in high school, back in 1999. I remember the first episode with Rock and Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the ref. There was a time I saw this on Botchamania, and I was glad because I realized they had a wrong date on the Austin DX Express explosion thing. And I was like, I know that didn't happen in August. I remember I was in school when it happened and talking to my friends about it the next day. And they're saying this happened in August when it would have been summertime. And so I'm glad someone else caught that besides me. There was a bad date that ran during one of their flashbacks.
So was it September?
No, it was April. And April. They said August.
Okay.
2000, I believe, is the year on that one. I feel like they're making a mistake. 4 people seems a bit excessive for the commentary table. Seems a bit crowded to me.
Yeah, and I kind of like Tom Phillips, but I like him in the backstage role. I don't know about him at the table. I think 4 people is too many. Or maybe Bye Bye Otunga.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Maybe that's what they're getting ready for. They're just kind of.
If they're getting why would you not just do it though? Maybe
you don't want to just do it if Tom's not going to work.
That's a good point. I thought he sounded fine.
I did too. I did too. I just find it interesting because Tom, to me, seems like someone that could take the role of a Morrow or a Michael Cole.
Yes,
the
he's
the play-by-play, the anchor
correct.
guy.
He's the straight guy, right?
He's the straight guy, but Morrow does that already. Although maybe Morrow's just so over the top crazy. It's LIP.
Morrow is really good at that, and he does have that level of excitement. But I mean, for things like when Tough Enough comes around, or like main event, or specials where you don't want to use Morrow or Michael Cole, you've got that third hand ready to go.
Right, and you don't even have a big enough table for Tom. Like Tom's sitting at the end of the table, like I am when I show up late to a dinner at a restaurant and they just pull a chair up.
Yeah, or like, it's Thanksgiving, but you forgot someone had a baby, so now someone's sitting at the end of the table all awkwardly at the corner.
Did you know Tom is a Penn Stater, just like you and me?
I did not know that.
He's a Penn Stater. A guy I work with on another radio station here was roommates with Tom. So there's an opportunity if they ever come to town, we could get Tom in here and maybe we could have him be part of a Post to Post.
That'd be really cool. Do I know the guy you're talking about?
Thomas Frank. He's the guy that's in the mornings now on the station I used to be on.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think I work with Tom, but I've heard you talk about him before. That's very cool. He's
younger. He's much younger. He's in his 20s. Like Tom is probably in his he's probably like 24, 25 because that's how old T. Frank is.
I took a legit Nia Jax note. I thought that her spot looked ridiculous last night. Did you or a Tuesday night? No, it was so slow. It was like in slow motion. It looked ridiculous. I thought. Oh, here we go. It was like how in cartoons when like their feet start moving but their bodies haven't moved yet. It felt like that the whole way through the barricade to me. Kind of what you're doing now, right? It was that speed. So you noticed it too, I guess.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I thought that looked ridiculous, especially from someone who should be high impact like Nia Jax in the women's division. I thought that came off poorly, personally.
Man, I'm winded.
I am still liking, by the way, I appreciate you putting your all into that one.
Thanks.
I thought Breezango is standing out as being very funny to me. I think they're standing out in a good way.
Handing out tickets. Boy, I kind of hate Booker T.
Oh, yeah. I've never, especially in the King Booker role, I can't stand him. Never liked the King Booker gimmick.
I also hated, more than that, Gable standing next to an Uso that ripped his leg apart 3 weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. I hate stuff like that.
They're like all of a sudden they're teams.
Yeah. Didn't even notice that.
Feud. There should be a blood feud.
Yeah, that never materialized at all. They just came back with a whimper and never wanted revenge on the Usos. You're absolutely right. Did you hear when they cut back to Renee Young, who was sitting at like the talking smack desk? Something was wrong with her microphone, and it sounded like she had a nerdy lisp.
She had a what?
A nerdy sounding lisp.
Oh, okay.
Because the mic, something's wrong with the mic. Maybe I'm the only one who noticed that, or maybe it was just a problem on my end. But
yeah,
did you hear her mic screwing up or not really?
No, not really.
Yeah, when she made an S sound, it would like kind of like overmodulate, and it sounded like THs, and it was cute but nerdy. But it was something was wrong with the audio.
Right.
Also, when we're talking about these feuds that make no sense, I don't know that we've talked about this, and maybe we can do it at another time if you want to, but we really should discuss how little sense this Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt relationship is, because it's been several weeks now with no explanation.
Yeah, I don't love it at all. I feel like we only have 20 minutes left, and we've got predictions, so I don't want to dig into it too deeply, but I don't like it either. I don't think it makes sense, and it just kind of came out of nowhere.
So on the post show on Tuesday's episode, Benny was talking about how excited he was for the 900th episode. You know, Edge is going to be there, Undertaker's going to be there. How could I not be excited? And I was excited, and I was talking to him about how with the Undertaker, simply him being there is not going to be enough for me. He's going to have to do something for me to give it 2 thumbs up.
And did he? Did he announce that he's basically coming back?
See, okay, I don't know, and that was my note. My note is, what did Undertaker even say? Because if he's going to claim he's back, I don't believe it. And it's really annoying because remember, you may not have been watching wrestling at this time, but when Rock came back for a WrestleMania, he cut a promo about how he's back, and not just for a one shot. He's back for good. I'm back home, and this is where I'm going to stay. And it was BS, and people got pissed at it, myself included.
Yeah, that'll upset me because he was basically like, I'm back. I'm smoking poles and digging holes or whatever he said.
I don't think it was smoking poles, but it could have been. Taking souls.
I don't know. It rhymed. And I was just like, does that mean and WrestleMania is no longer going to define me? So I get that. That tells me here he comes for Survivor Series. But then after Survivor Series, is he sticking around? I don't know.
That's the thing. I don't think we're going to see him on a regular basis.
We just saw pictures of him like 3 weeks ago going into a coffee shop on crutches. Like
apparently we're not supposed to read it. I don't think that was for like a specific injury or something. Not to get too worried about that.
I feel like he's a little brittle.
Well, he's old enough to be, and he's a wrestler, so yeah, of course he is.
Right. So
My only thing is, don't come out and say you're back when you're not, Rock.
So maybe he's not going to do that. Maybe he's actually back through Rumble. That could be the case.
If he's back through Rumble, still screw you. If you're back, be back. Don't say you're back and not be back. Like
Jericho. Jericho came back, and it's been over a year or close to.
Right. Okay. Sure. Jericho can say he's back, even though I know he's going away again soon. He's back. Sure. Rock couldn't say it, and I mean, I hope I get proven wrong, but I don't think Undertaker can say it either. So there's that. Those are all my notes from SmackDown. Do you want to move forward from that, or do you have more to say from SmackDown?
Oh, I'll say it. I thought it was great. We had some legendary people in the ring at one time. I mean, you had AJ Styles, you had Edge, you had The Undertaker, and James Ellsworth all in the same ring.
I feel like Edge was a better fit, but still not necessary.
No.
But then again, I'm thinking it's like this wasn't even episode 1000. It's episode 900. Who celebrates 900? Where was the celebration for 800?
It's an even number, baby, and it's SmackDown Live now. I just think it's great that James Ellsworth was he's in the ring with those Titans, and I'm just laughing at how this has worked out.
All right, Valeria, let's talk Survivor Series.
Let's get it.
This is an official. If I lose these predictions, I have a lot at stake because I've been saying I'm the A pay-per-view guy. Jerry's the B pay-per-view guy. This is an A pay-per-view, kind of.
Yes, it is.
So we've got 6 matches in 6 hours. I'm assuming they'll add something to the pre-show that we don't know about. But yeah, I mean, if you factor in the pre-show, we're looking at 6, possibly 6+ hours of wrestling. You might get me around the second hour of the pre-show, but I'm not watching more than 5. There's no way.
I'm starting at the beginning of Survivor Series. The pre-show be damned. I'm sorry.
I will honestly, if I aim to tune in about a half hour early. It depends on where our weekend is at that point, but that's where I'm shooting for.
We both looked at a full updated card. We both saw that there were 6 matches. So let's start with at the bottom, and I think that's like the cruiserweight, and work our way up to the Survivor teams and then the main event.
Okay, I have them in a different order, but that's fine. We can go in that order.
Go in your order then. What's your order? Go for it.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't think they would put all 3 Survivor Series matches back to back to back. So I've got the tag teams match first.
Okay.
And that features Team Raw, which is Enzo and Cass, Gallows and Anderson, Shining Stars, Cesaro and Sheamus, and the New Day taking on Team SmackDown Live. Heath Slater and Rhino, Hype Bros, American Alpha, Usos, and Breezango. And I've got a prediction, and I don't mind getting things started.
I want to hear your prediction first because I just want to hear how you're predicting them. Like, are you predicting who gets eliminated or who survives or just who wins?
No, I'm picking an overall winner.
Okay, go ahead.
With no match have I given a whole lot of thought as to like who's going to survive. I'm going to go with Team Raw on this one. I feel like when you consider the weight of Raw and the weight of SmackDown's tag teams, this is one match that Raw is going to take.
I agree. You just look at the tag teams. I think the New Day, Gallows and Anderson, and Enzo and Cass alone, those are three of the biggest tag teams that they have right now. And they're just going to do it. I just think that that's the match that Raw really wins.
Yeah, it's just a straight weight. I'm just going by weight. The weight of the Raw tag teams far exceeds. I don't mean their actual body mass. I just mean that their importance to the company. They not only do they greatly exceed SmackDown's tag teams, they lap them. They
do. So yes, I think that's a no-brainer.
I wouldn't say that, but I would say I would go with Team Raw. So.
No-brainer.
All right, so hold on. Let me get my sound effects here. We are both locked in on Team Raw. All right, the next match I've got here would be the Cruiserweight Championship. The Brian Kendrick representing Raw and SmackDown's Kalisto.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one because they made the announcement that if Kalisto wins, the Cruiserweight title and all of the Cruiserweights go to SmackDown.
Absolutely right.
That's why I think Kalisto wins.
This is not hard for me. There is no doubt in my mind Kalisto is winning.
Yeah.
I'll explain why. It all has to do with their taping schedule. My understanding is they're going to be taping live 205 or 205 live on Tuesdays following SmackDown.
Right.
So they want them with the SmackDown guys for sure.
So they're moving them over.
Correct. There it is. I think they're moving them. They're moving them all over.
Yep. Okay. So we're in agreement on that.
Now
I'm starting to worry that we're going to agree on every match.
It could happen. There's only 6 of them.
Yep.
But so there's that. But there's also a reality check that needs to be done. For example, I don't know that's like Raw. If they lose the Cruiserweights, I feel like they've got even more time to fill now. Like when they've got a Cruiserweight match or two, they can throw them in there and fill some time. SmackDown doesn't have that problem.
Right.
So it's going to make things interesting, I guess. But yeah, I think they're definitely heading to SmackDown, which also makes sense as to maybe why they had Brian Kendrick beat TJP at the Hell in a Cell.
So he can drop it to Kalisto.
Yeah, I think that's the higher profile loss, and that could maybe go somewhere. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think we'll see the Cruiserweights on Tuesday nights. Let's keep going. The Women's Survivor Series match. Team Raw, comprised of Charlotte, Bayley, Nia Jax, Alicia Fox, and Sasha Banks, taking on the ladies of SmackDown Live: Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and Naomi.
I think based on your reasoning for the tag match would make it easy again, based on weight, to go with Raw. But I think they want to rub for the women on SmackDown. I think that they're up and coming, and I actually think that the SmackDown women are going to win.
That makes sense, and that's a way I didn't think about it. I just went with weight again, and I have Team Raw, and now that you're explaining it, I'm starting to think that you're right. I won't change my answer because I feel like we lock in before these episodes start recording.
Right.
But you make sense. Like, I mean, like how much of a star would Alexa Bliss look like if she, lasts long against like she's the sole survivor or something against, Charlotte and Sasha.
Right. Or how much more does it legitimize Becky Lynch in her title reign if she beats Charlotte? You
make a really good point.
And so I really feel like the women on SmackDown and the writers know this. And so I'm going to go with SmackDown, even though based on why we picked the tag match, it's, going in the face of that. But
plus, like, I can see so much infighting on the Raw team that they could cause their own kind of breakup in the ring. Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm real nervous about this one. Plus, we disagree on it. So you got me scared again, Valeri.
Yes, so you're on the rope.
I am. We're not done. Intercontinental Championship match. Same rules as the Cruiserweights title. If whichever show wins keeps the title.
Right.
Intercontinental title. The Miz, Sami Zayn.
I'll take this. As much as I love seeing The Miz and I love seeing the Miz on with the belt. I think that with the Cruiserweight Championship coming to SmackDown, the Intercontinental title is going to Raw. And I think they're going to give it to Sami Zayn. I'm not confident about this at all. Either way, Miz stays on SmackDown. They've got too good of a thing there with him, and they've got too good of a thing going with him and Daniel Bryan. So he'll stay on SmackDown, but I think Sami Zayn takes the title over to Raw. And then you'll have an interesting situation where you've got the Intercontinental and the U.S. title both on Raw again, and I don't know if that's a good idea.
To me,
but I think that's what they'll do. I think Sami Zayn wins.
To me, the question is, do they want to have one mid-level belt or do they want to have two mid-level belts? If it goes to Raw, I feel like there's going to be a unification situation where at some point in the near future, the U.S. Championship and the Intercontinental Championship collide in a match and the winner takes all and there's one belt.
And I hope the Intercontinental belt is the one they keep.
It would be. However, I don't think that's going to happen. It's possible, and I considered it highly. I think the reason the stipulation is in place was to maybe swerve people from the Cruiserweight thing. Like, for example, if only the Cruiserweight title is up for grabs, that would be really weird that Raw put up their entire division, but SmackDown didn't.
Right.
And I think SmackDown will retain both of them. I think The Miz wins. I think they want, because I feel like they want a mid-level. Plus, look how well their mid-level thing's going. Well, I guess they don't have a division. You know what, man? Here I go again, second-guessing myself, because really their Intercontinental situation is Miz and Ziggler. That's it, really.
That's it.
But I still feel like that's going well for them, and I don't see them moving it over to Raw. I'm going with Miz.
And I think that the Miz, if given a good opportunity, could get in there for the world title at some point if he keeps the right amount of heat.
Wouldn't be the first time. By the way, we're predicting, since this is a championship match, we're predicting where the belt is going with these.
Yes.
Because they're championship matches. So, if Miz wins by DQ, or I'm sorry, if Sami Zayn wins by DQ, that belt stays on SmackDown.
I'm going to give it to you then. Yes.
Okay, and vice versa. So,
got it.
Two more matches by my count. We've got the men's Survivor Series match. Yep. They've got Team Raw, consisting of Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, against Team SmackDown Live, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Shane McMahon. I'll go ahead and throw one out here. I am going to go with Team SmackDown Live. It could be thanks to an Undertaker interference is kind of where my head went first. But I also just feel like Raw winning is the easy answer and the obvious answer because Raw's always been the A team. I think they want to remind people SmackDown is live and SmackDown is as much the A team as Raw is. I see SmackDown easily winning this match. Whether it be Undertaker or not, I can't see SmackDown losing this.
I'm going SmackDown. I thought that we were going to disagree on this. For the longest time, I was Raw.
I wasn't.
I was able to justify Kevin Owens getting pinned by like an AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose taking out Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. I was able to justify each person on the team getting eliminated. But the way they booked Braun Strowman, how are they going to get rid of Braun Strowman? Like how are they going to eliminate him from this match? And then they gave me the answer on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
The Undertaker is going to eliminate Braun Strowman.
Absolutely
and
possible.
SmackDown Live is going to win. And so we're locking in. We're both going Team SmackDown.
Yeah, for sure. I have no doubts about that one. And also, I can see, like, the women's match, the Raw team collapsing before the SmackDown team.
Yes.
We've got very limited time here, so let's wrap this up. We've got Lesnar and Goldberg. I'm very curious as to who you're picking.
You have no idea how excited I am for this match.
I do.
I just wanted to end this with like someone holding sparklers at me while I rip my shirt off, and then just Goldberg, Goldberg, Goldberg. But he's not going to win. So I think it's Brock Lesnar. And that makes me sad. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going Lesnar.
I hope you're right because I'm also going Lesnar. And I'll tell you, I hope you're right because that's the right choice. Having a guy back for one match, defeating the quote-unquote unstoppable monster who no one else has been able to get over yet, no, that's the wrong choice. That's the wrong choice.
Goldberg.
I don't care.
Goldberg. Goldberg. Goldberg.
I'm not caring.
Goldberg. 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 Goldberg.
And there it is.
Goldberg.
And now he's nude.
Goldberg.
All right. I knew it would come down to this. All right, real quick, what do we disagree on? We disagree on The Miz and Sami Zayn. I've got Miz, you've got Sami Zayn. And we disagree on the women's Survivor Series match, correct?
Yes, those are the two disagreements.
All right. Whichever, and if it's 1-1, whichever match goes last holds the most water.
There it is.
All right. For myself, my tag team partner, Mr. Jerry Valeri, I hope everyone has a great time watching Survivor Series on Sunday. We will be back on Monday with a recap episode and presume that I will be the lock-in champ because it is an A show. This is the fourth biggest show of the year. Have a great time on Sunday, everybody. We'll be back on Monday. And, of course, my man is shirtless.
Goldberg! 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 Goldberg!